Thank you very much for the super chat at the end of the last stream. Outdoor Smile, absolutely appreciate that. Came in a little bit too late. Hopefully you got that one good there. And we've got this one here. Oh my gosh, almost choked before I said that. Hey you. Hey you. Hey you, Outdoor Smile, thank you very much for yet another super chat, man. Appreciate both of those, that winking face and the hey you right there. End of last stream, beginning of this stream. But what is going on, everybody? Good afternoon to all of you guys. We've got AMC Stock's earnings call coming up here in the next, I'd say, 45 minutes or so. So we're going to be listening to that. Listening to good old John. Yeah, John. I was thinking John and Frank, but no, man. No, it's John and Adam. So we're going to be listening to John and Adam on that earnings call. We've got Outdoor Smile, Frodo, Outdoor Smile, Victor Frodo, Cassie, Paul Wright, JB, Nick F, JB, Mr. Simon in the house, baby. Donnell, what's going on, JB? Nufo, AMZ to Pluto. Ooh, JB, Mr. Simon, JB, Mr. Simon, JB, Mr. Simon, JB, Mr. Simon, Devil's Advocate, what's going on? DD214, Missy, JB, Carlos, AMC Trapper, and Pringleton in the house. What is going on, everybody? Market looking very good into the close there. Especially AMC was running up pretty nice here. Very nice green candle, taking us to $18, up above $18.50. Kind of coming back a little bit, getting a little nervous going into this earnings call here. Sitting at $18.48 right now. Shiba Inu coin pulling back a little bit, $26.92 at the moment. I would imagine Bitcoin pulling back too. Yep, Bitcoin and Shiba Inu coin both pulling back right now. Sundial closed at $50.55 today, back up to 51 cents after hours. GameStop sitting down here at $119.03. Not really doing anything at all after hours. Prague up after hours slightly, sitting at $1.29, closed at $1.28. NASDAQ had a pretty tough day today. Tried to bounce back a little bit, but closed 1.6% lower. Farmy, nice day. 1760, and it is currently up 1.14% after hours, sitting at 1780. Gave up that gain, man. It was sitting at 19 plus cents per share, and it gave up the 13% gain that it had pre-market, and ended up closing at 1760. So overall, good day in the market, and we are ready for the earnings call. Hello, Clay, or hey, Clay from Tasmania. Vic Young, man, what's going on from Ohio, my friend? Praying for all of us. Guys, Ray, yes. Mr. Simon, my guy, what's going on? Let's get it, fam. Let's get it. Street Surf. I think I'll buy 10 for good luck. BRB. Missy, get it. I like good luck, and I cannot lie. You other bros can't deny. Clear, you streaming the earnings call. KO bets. Yes, man. I will be streaming the earnings call. We're going to pull it up here. I don't know. I got it registered and ready to go. So we'll pull that up probably just at 5 o'clock. We're not going to sit there and listen to their music, because if we sit there and listen to their music, then we're probably going to get flagged, and we're not going to do that. So we will be listening to the earnings call and the earnings call only. 5 o'clock, it's supposed to start. JB, 0 for 5 on options today, not AMC related. Other stocks, bought puts, went up, bought calls, went down. Spaniard, it's tough, man, it's tough. I did buy some calls on AMC, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. Hopefully it plays out good, right? If it doesn't, it's all right. Hoping for a good earnings report. Let's see what you guys are hoping for, too. As more people jump in, I would expect a good earnings report. So let's see. Earnings expectations. All right. No. All right, let's see what you guys think. I should have said AMC. Clearly, it's for AMC. All right, let me know your earnings expectations for AMC. I think it's going to be a good earnings report. We go up. Good earnings or bad earnings report. We go down. Good or bad. Greetings from Zimbabwe, everyone. Mr. Simon is not from Zimbabwe. He might be in Zimbabwe right now. He's a world traveler, but we don't know. Fact in the earnings call starts with, John will not be joining us in this call. He's been replaced by insert name and is no longer with us. We squeeze. Yeah, I would agree with that. John has typically not done very well for earnings or for AMC on the earnings call. Not one of the most robust fellas out there. Kind of bland. And hopefully today is a different day. Yo, from the city of Lizzie Borden. What's going on, buddy B? How you doing? Indeed, Army. Missy, glad to have you back. Did you go get your shares? How could you not expect good things after Spider-Man, bro? Come on. I don't know. I expect the vast majority of the answers to say good. That is what I expect. Let's see what that is. 77% currently expect good, but only 22 votes. Guys, don't be afraid to vote. We got earnings coming up here within the hour, and we're wanting to know earnings expectations. Good, bad, what do you got? FHRITP, facts. For he really is the player. Yes, for he really is the player. Shredder, you know it, man. You know it. Shiba is good to purchase and would take you to the richest of the USA, but if you be in Russia, then you are not going to have some access to your Coinbase and the future investments, so please be aware. D, it's true, man. It's true. If you want to hold your assets off of Coinbase, that might be a little bit better, but you have to remember Coinbase, all these centralized exchanges are going to be working with the government to implement sanctions. But I don't think it's for everyday citizens. I think it's for these larger, cryptocurrency whales that live in Russia. I'm sorry to break to you all, but I am invested in AMC. It's going to tank. If I sell now, I can save all of your accounts. Put a pull up, Clay. If everybody wants this black cat to sell his AMC shares. Spaniard, no, do not sell, man. Do not sell. I know you're feeling right now like if you buy it, it's going down. If you sell it, it's going up. But that is not the case, man. You'll get out of it, and it will go up. So it's gonna be fine. Or you'll get out of it, and then it could absolutely go down. So you'll get out of that funk, man. You'll get out of that funk. Don't think that you're the only one that causes it to go up and down. Let's see. 8214, Mr. Salmon, I need to be hanging out at Taco Bell parking lot for that free Wi-Fi. That's actually where I'm streaming from right now. Is the Taco Bell parking lot, and they do have good Wi-Fi there. Better than McDonald's. You wouldn't know it. AMC, what's going on, bro? Let's get it. Jonathan, we're waiting for that earnings call to come out. What is this, man? Tighten that down a little bit. That was like twisting all over the place. We don't want none of that. None of that nonsense twisting around. Expect a good earnings call, but it's stock dropping some. It's called corruption. Yet nobody doing crap. We need to burn some buildings. Oh, buddy, I don't want to burn any buildings down, man. It's bad. Don't do that. But yeah, I know it can be frustrating. Maybe this is the charm. Maybe this third time's the charm here. We're gonna have a good earnings report, and we're gonna have a good price action as well. Russian banks are down. Internet is spotty at best right now. Missy. Are you in Russia? 77%. Well, better than something. I missed it. Reminder, it's Taco Tuesday. It is Tuesday, and tacos are available. So don't forget to eat a taco today. So you have a decentralized currency, but a decentralized ATM, so to speak. How does that not put holes in the whole basis of crypto? Yeah, devil's advocate. It absolutely does when you're trying to get your crypto back into fiat dollars. There's really no way to get it back into a fiat currency and without some sort of a centralization, man. There's no way to do that. I think the entire, how did you put it? The whole basis. I think the whole basis of crypto is to keep it in crypto and use it as a cryptocurrency, right? And I don't know if that's necessarily the most efficient way and so on. You could argue that all day long, but I don't know if it's necessarily just an investment vehicle where you make it in Bitcoin and then convert it back to dollars. If it's left in Bitcoin, you have no need for any centralization whatsoever. You would go out there, you would trade your Bitcoin for your goods and services, and then you would move on. The transactions, you guys understand all the transactions hitting the ledger and things like that. But yes, in order to use it for an investment vehicle to get back into US dollars, rubles, euros, whatever you want, you do need that centralization aspect because you're trying to get it back into a centralized currency. Hello, Prington. You already know my mind is in the gutter off and shredded. No problems at all. So there's so many people that eat raw animals, and it's not good for your health or stomach acids. Instead, you can eat grains if you wish to try it. Yeah, dude, so I have had raw fish before. I've had raw fish, and then I've also had raw sausage. I didn't get sick afterwards, but I was in Italy, man, and I told the dude, give me whatever you think is best. And the dude gave me a raw sausage sandwich. I don't know if he was just messing with me or what the deal was, but yeah. What's up, Clay? Duperon family, what's going on, man? Legitimately asking, isn't the entire point that it's decentralized, which it isn't? So crypto if you're using Coinbase or something, you're not necessarily using it as a decentralized cryptocurrency. At that point, you're investing. If you're strictly mining and earning rewards in Ethereum Classic, like I'm doing right now, or Ravencoin, like I was doing before, or Zcash, like I was doing before, and then one day, you're just storing up all your coins, getting your transaction fees, and getting your rewards from mining, and then one day, you may use your Zcash to buy goods and services, or your Ethereum to buy goods and services. That takes the centralization kind of out of it. I have not traded those for actual dollars yet. So I don't even need a Coinbase or a crypto.com or Binance. So the stuff that I've mined is still 100% decentralized because I've never used a centralized service in order to transfer it back to fiat. But yeah, if you're investing in it, you do need that centralized force because you're taking you're using your dollars to buy crypto, and then you're essentially trading your crypto back for dollars. That was happening still thinking about main event wrestling match in Smiles Dream. Who won? Dude, sounds to me, Paul, like they were both winners, if you know what I'm saying. What do you place into tacos before you eat them? And also, do you have to do this only on Tuesdays? Oh, no, D, man. You don't have to do it only on Tuesdays. I like chicken tacos, I like fish tacos, and I like beef tacos. I use all of those. Also, lettuce, tomatoes, some onions, cheese. If I've got some sour cream, yes. If I've got some salsa, absolutely. But those are the staples for me. AMC on the rise after hours before earnings. Pringleton, I hope we get it, man. I hope we have a stellar earnings report and AMC is rolling back into the 20s. I will feel very good if AMC opens up at like 22, 23 bucks tomorrow. I bought some calls right before the close, and I'm looking forward to that. Let's just put it that way. So, good earnings report, gonna be good. Bad earnings report, what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? We've been here before. We'll stay here again. So the purpose of it is to have a decentralized currency. However, in order to be able to use it as a currency, which is the point, you have to centralize it. Hashtag Cole's Cash. Not necessarily, okay? Not necessarily. In order to use it as a currency, right? See, here's the... Not really. So if I do have Ravencoin, I've got Zcash, and I've got Ethereum Classic that I have never bought, right? I strictly earned those for free, and I'm paying for electricity. But I earned those for free by running that miner. Devil's advocate, I don't know what you got, man. I don't know what you got. But let's say I want your guitar, okay? If whatever you would be willing to sell your guitar for, right? Let's say you wanted 10 Zcash for your car, and I gave you those 10 Zcash for your car. You'd be walking away with, forget the dollar amount. Let's just say you are walking away with 10 Zcash, and you think that's a fair price for your car. Boom, you got your 10 Zcash. Now, you're right. If you want to trade it back to US dollars, you do need to centralize it. If you're fine accepting 10 Zcash, it never hits the centralized platform at all. If you have no intentions of converting it back to fiat, you do not need a centralized service. Now, that's not to say that you can't decentralize, transferring it back to fiat either. Centralization simply means that there's one governing body, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Binance, and so on. If you use a decentralized service that is not going to have anybody making the decisions, but everybody working together, like mining, to transfer that back to a dollar, then you could, at that point, keep it decentralized and still get back to fiat but I don't know of any places where you can actually change it back to fiat currency that's not centralized. At this point, they are regulated in the fact that these exchanges need to know their customer. To be clear, I do this often with you to learn and not to hit you with gotcha. No. I know, man. I know. I don't feel like you're getting me. So fire ripping I bought calls. I'm not a total loser, just a loser. Spaniard, man. You hit that one right, dude. Hopefully you make some sick money on that. There you go with the Zcash plug again. Oh, yeah, dude. I'll plug Zcash all day long, but I don't think plugging Zcash is really going to do anything. Zcash is kind of like, I think it is where it is, man. I don't think there's going to be any spike in Zcash or any like huge inflow of buyers coming in and getting excited about Zcash. But Zcash is cool because, I mean, like you can go out to Etherscan right now and track everybody's wallet transactions. You can't do that with Zcash. It's a privacy coin. So that aspect is pretty cool. I'm still super bullish on AMC. We'll hold it if the earnings are bad or it doesn't squeeze on Thursday. I hold till shorts cover. Frodo, my mentality exactly, man. My mentality exactly. I will be excited if it goes up. I am going to close out those calls if it does go up and take my profit there. But if it goes down, I have no intentions whatsoever of leaving. I am absolutely staying beyond March 3rd. I'm staying beyond this week. I am staying until, listen, you know, that's good. Until the shorts cover, yes, clearly. But even if the shorts cover down to like 8 to 10%, which is kind of average for stocks to have that level of short interest, I'm going to be a little skeptical of a short squeeze if we get that low and an AMC short interest isn't sitting what would be like double, triple a normal short interest. AMC will squeeze in 2 or 3 years. Mark, if that's what it takes, dude, I'll hold my AMC for 2 or 3 years. I really don't care. Like, I'm not sitting on so much AMC that I am not going to be able to make some chicken and eat tonight. I'll still be able to make chicken and rice, have some dinner, order a pizza on the weekends, and things like that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. If I sneeze, guys, I'm very sorry about that. Imagine how many more tacos you can buy after the Moaz. New foe. I'm going to make this statement right here, right now. After the Moaz, I promise to buy Taco Tuesday one night when we go out, okay? If you're invited, you're invited. If you're not invited, I'm sorry, you're not invited. But I promise to buy Taco Tuesday. Snowing again. Missy, not snowing here. 46 degrees and slightly rain, a little rain. So if I have 15%, I hope those calls hold tomorrow. I really need those. Yeah, Spaniard, no joke, man. That's the thing. Hopefully, if SoFi is up 15% right now, you rip even higher throughout after hours trade, and you get all the way up to like a nice 30% gain. People get excited at pre-market, and then they start buying, and you make some decent money that way. That'll be very cool. SoFi up after hours right now. Nice gain right here. Oh, that was dangerous, man. That was dangerous. Popped down to 10.26, back up to 13. So hopefully, man, you just get a nice steady run. And I don't know, that'd be awesome if you can open up somewhere around $14 tomorrow. That would be very cool. Close to Taco Bell. Close, but no cigar. Let's see. I hope so, Mark. I have 10,000 by then. Nice, Missy. I think I missed what Mark said about that, but very sorry. Clebro, I have access to the scissors feature to cut clips out of the show. Meow. Pika Power. So it looks like, I assume, are you guys on mobile? I assume you would have to update the YouTube app to get this clip feature. That is very cool. And thank you, YouTube, for making me live yet a more dangerous life. Outdoor smile. Oh my gosh. Did any smoke come out of my nose? I tried so hard. Outdoor smile. Thank you for the super chat. I tried to make that look as angry as possible. If it takes 2 years to squeeze, so be it. The longer it takes to squeeze, that means the more they will have the short to suppress the upward price movement. That means bigger squeeze when it happens. Yeah, dude, it's going to be, they can dig themselves in as large of a hole as they want. I do think there's a certain group of people that will sell. You know, if time goes on and they get tired, I do think there's a certain amount of people that will sell. I'm willing to hold AMC as I invest in other things and as I continue to diversify my portfolio. But, you know, other people did go 190% in AMC. and they may not want to continue holding through a 2 to 3 year period if that's what it takes. But I absolutely will. All right, let's go AMC. Let's do this. Spaniard, let's do it, man. I say 50% or more on crypto by buying the dip. Sergio, bro. Very nice, man. Nobody will ever... Dude, that clip was pretty good, man. That clip was pretty good. And it will live on the internet forever. Shoot, man. Internet's forever, right? Internet's forever. You can't even take it down. Bro, hey, I messaged you on Twitter about this token that's coming over to Binance chain. If you have a chance, take a look at it. WMP, Women Empowerment Token. Very nice. Yeah, Saif, man. I'll have to take a look at that. I have not seen anything about that at all, but I'll have to go through my DMs and see what they got if you DM'd me. If you didn't DM me, I'll go through my mentions and see what's there. My clip feature is missing now. Weird. Paul, you had it earlier, but you don't have it now? Yes, Clay, I'm on my mobile. Very nice. Peak of power. YouTube is giving you guys way too much power with this clip, but I like it. I like it. Power to the people, YouTube. Good job. Careful, Clay. You will pop a blood vessel. Frodo, I'm telling you, man, you guys make me fly. You make me just blow smoke out of my nose. It's only a matter of time before I do pop a blood vessel. It's possible all the money most people invested is what their portfolio is, not much profits yet. Yeah, Shredda, that is true, man. If the average price is around $18, $19, then you are absolutely correct. Will the earnings shoot the price up? Austino TV, so it could, depending on how good the earnings are. We just have to wait and see. It is a possibility at these prices that we do get a lot of investors coming in, following a good earnings report, and buying because of an increase in the fundamentals of AMC. That is a possibility, man. Do you think we are at the bottom of this correction, given that there is war waging in Europe, and it really... Spaniard, I was thinking about that yesterday, and the best I could come up with, man, is maybe. Why? If things don't escalate any further than they currently are, and March comes around with this inflation meeting, and Jerome Powell is kind of confident, he's not worried about what's going on, and he tells us that they're going to be able to get inflation under control. I would say yeah, man. I would say yeah. I don't see what else would cause hesitation or uncertainty in the markets. But that's a dangerous statement, man, because I have no doubt in my mind that we could, not we will, right? This is a definite could, that we could wake up tomorrow and NATO could get dragged to this entire situation, that North Korea could make things worse, that China could do something stupid, and it just does, it actually does draw in the world. At this point, guys, you know, people are calling it World War III. It's not World War III. You've got Russia and Ukraine going at it right now, and it's a sad situation, yes, but it's two countries, and it's very sad. Like, you know, you got friends that are sitting there watching you get in a fight with somebody, and you got friends that are sitting on the sidelines watching. And that's kind of what the world is doing right now, is sitting on the sidelines and watching. If people start to jump into the fight, and if it really does turn into a World War III, dude, it could be so much worse than it currently is. I mean, imagine NATO jumps in, China jumps in, we sanction China, China no longer exports to us, we're relying over here, goods and services, inflation just spirals out of control because our Chinese goods and services now are all of a sudden, you know, 3x'd, 4x'd in price, and inflation shoots up to 40, 50%, and it could absolutely spiral based on a single decision. And because of that, I can't confidently say that we're at the bottom. I still think it's a risk, man. What's up, Clibro? Tuning in. Justin, glad to have you, man. Binance tokens have robbed me blind. Outdoor Smile. Yeah, listen, I've lost some. I still hold them, right? I'm still holding. I'm wanting this portfolio to grow over time. So I do have faith that some of these projects might work out. But you are right, man. Binance tokens they're very volatile. You could do well or you could do very bad. Mr. Simon, thank you very much for the member chat. Mr. Simon, thank you for the super chat. Oh, it's not actually a super chat, it's a member chat. So thank you very much for the 9-month member chat there. For some reason, Simon really likes the lipstick and salt. Simon, thank you very much for the 9-month member. I'm going to have to start getting some shirts here pretty soon. You guys are all going to be turning 1 year old. That is true, Clay. Too soon to say. The fight is for water. I'm telling you, yeah, dude. It hopefully everything just works itself out from here on forward. But it is too soon to say, DD214. Cold War II or World War III, all watched on the AMC big screen. Sid, yes, dude. And it's kind of weird that we're all sitting back here just like waiting to see what happens next, but that's the time that we're in, man. Hypothetically, Russia could take Ukraine, use it as a chess move, stepping stone to gain power, and keep moving to take over. That's the danger of not stopping them right out of the gate. Anything could happen. Yeah, dude. Yeah, because you know what? If they do take Ukraine, I mean, just going through these hypotheticals, you know, what countries border Ukraine that Russia would be worried about joining NATO if they own Ukraine now? And then what countries would border those? So it could just continue to spiral out of control if that's the play they're going for. I have no idea what this guy's intentions are. It doesn't make any sense to me. They'd be going through that. So I mean, if that's the end game for them, then yeah, man, things could definitely continue to move out of control, but we are hoping for the absolute best. One of my friends has a friend who is hiding in the root cellar with kids because it's too dangerous to try and travel to get to Poland from you. Oh man, Cassie, that's terrible. That's terrible. Listen, I believe it. I believe it, you know, and it is terrible to hear that. So hopefully they're all okay. Love Spain, Mr. S. Been to Cadiz, Seville, Gibraltar, and Barcelona. Dang, Missy Mill's been all over the place. Loving Spain. Good one, Pika. What did Pika say? Shut up, become a member, and I'll make you king. Pika power. I love it, too. That is a good one, Pika. That is a good one. Thank you. And Belarus, yeah, Brindalero, that's an absolute possibility. Jerome is my uncle. He told me to hold. Rolly Factory. So it looks like you're going to be holding then. We got about 15 minutes until the earnings call starts, guys. If you see a spike up here in AMC, keep an eye on it. We may have an earnings release coming out. If any of you guys get the numbers before we see them on the screen, or you know, want to get those numbers out as soon as possible, please do so. Agreed, Devil's Advocate, which NATO would fast track it. Listen, here's the thing with that though too that makes it dangerous. If NATO does fast track Ukraine, right, which I assume is what you're saying, we are stepping in. Right? Now we are involved at that point. And that really would become a World War III because, 26, 27 different countries across the globe would all of a sudden be drawn into this conflict. And it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous. Hey, Clay, do you think it's possible for AMC to beat or EPS? I don't know if I saw the full comment there because it's behind the poll. To beat earnings expectations, do you think it's hopeful based off the early release positive EBITDA? So yes. CB 1995, I don't know how much earnings expectations were adjusted based on that early release. So they should be more accurate, but I absolutely do think that they can beat the earnings expectations because, I mean, dude, we had phenomenal revenue with Spider-Man and all of these blockbusters. We did go out there and purchase new theaters. They may have spent some money on that, so we might see an increase in spending, which would, of course, bring earnings down a little bit. But I do think it's a possibility to beat earnings expectations. I would imagine revenue expectations are going to do very well, so we're going to have to see, man. We're going to have to see. Outdoor Smile, worth a try. Always worth a try. Just saying that it can always get worth it. Hitler also started playing chess moves similar to this. Not the same, and nothing ever is, but you came up. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I know that we could wake up tomorrow and things could be totally different than they are right now. I'm just hoping that they're totally different in a good way. So we got earnings expectations right now. Thank you guys for being in here. We got 80 people in here, 93 votes. Everybody participating in the earnings expectations, good and bad. People are expecting 85% good expectations. I like it, guys. Hopefully that's what we got coming out here. And as we do listen to Adam Aaron, I'm going to let the desktop audio go on that. I probably will go fill this up before I come back upstairs, because it's really warm in here, and I am thirsty, and I'm almost out of water there. So while he's talking, since I'm not going to interrupt him anyway, I'll probably just walk down there and refill my water bottle. We're already involved. We share the world. Not taking a stance is taking a stance. Implementing sanctions is involvement with or without troops. We are already... Yeah, no, I agree to that extent. But when you do, like... I mean, when you send troops to defend them within their borders, that is I guess it's a different level. If you had to put levels to the amount of involvement that we are currently in, clearly getting involved by sanctioning is getting involved. But I would say, risking your soldiers' lives is a different level, in my opinion, man. Agreed, Devil's Advocate. The longer we wait, the harder it gets. Saying Belarus has troops in Ukraine fighting with Russia. Oh, that's what you're saying, Pretty Low. Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know what you were saying there at first because you just said Belarus, right? Devil's Advocate, not to stab on your pinky toe, but I thought the talk of the situation made you uncomfortable. Maybe, I don't know. Don't believe everything the mainstream media tells you. We should already know. Yes. Mr. Simon, I absolutely believe that. I don't know if I necessarily believe anything, okay? And I'm not trying to start a debate here, okay, at all. But if you see both sides of the media, and you guys know what sides I'm talking about, right? If you see both of them agreeing on something, then you might want to look at it as a real possibility. But dude, you're getting almost opposite stories if you look at different media sources too. So just be careful with what sources you guys look at and look into, especially if you're on Twitter, right? If you're on Twitter and just somebody's posting, I don't know, Santa Claus landed in somewhere. People on Twitter post whatever they want. So just be careful with any source that's going to be providing information to you guys. Ukraine both export sunflower oil, wheat, and fertilizer, as well as neon gas. Looking at agriculture, energy, and material stocks like CF, CLNG, or GLNG, and wheat, also APD. Sid, very nice, man. Very nice. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking advantage of the opportunity to make a profit. I know some people that feel very, very strongly about that. I mean, somebody's going to do it, man. It might as well be you. It might as well be me. So please don't feel bad about that at all. I mean, no, you know what you're doing, and you know why you're doing it. So always keep that in the back of your mind. But I don't feel bad at all about somebody wanting to make some money based on the situation. Wrestler says, deploy me, I'll blow it up. Let's get it, Wrestler. Clay, what's your favorite altcoin other than Shiba? Hayes, dude, good question. If you're going all altcoins in general, I like Ravencoin because I was mining it, man. And, I watched that bad boy since I started getting in at 2 cents. It went to 1 cent, and I was still getting in. Went all the way up to 28 cents, I believe. And it is back down right now with the major dip we're having in crypto. But that is probably the largest gain. That is the largest gain that I've experienced in a cryptocurrency, is a 28x. So, not bad at all. Therefore, it's probably my favorite. Apparently, Motley Fool thinks soaring inflation is good for AMC because the price of popcorn will go up and AMC has fixed costs. Motley Fool is a great place. Yeah. Price of popcorn is going to go up, but the cost of them making their popcorn is not going to go up. Clever, are you talking about the red and blue sides? I don't hear from them much. Yeah, red and blue, right. Peak Power, that's the ones. Do you think Shiba can hit 0.005? So Bolo Legrand, man, I do think it's a possibility for Shiba to hit a half a cent. When? I don't know. It's going to take a while to get a $2.5 trillion valuation on anything. The entire crypto market currently has a $2.5 trillion valuation. So just Shiba Inu coin hitting $2.5 trillion alone is going to be difficult. But it's definitely not impossible, right? We just need time, and we need the overall crypto market to grow. When in a lot of debt, does the earnings really matter? So Roly fingers, to a certain extent, yes. If we have positive earnings, that's going to mean a couple good things. Once we get positive earnings with the renegotiated debt, we can start to think about issuing dividends. They could absolutely be paying debt down on a larger scale, but the debt at this point, I don't know if sorry, I just saw that I might have cut out. The debt at this point is stable is probably the word that I want to use. Simply because they were able to renegotiate it. If they were not able to renegotiate it, the debtors out there would still think that, AMC is too high of a risk. We need to have 15% interest rates because AMC is facing such great risk. But they did drastically reduce the interest rate and save millions of dollars on their debt by refinancing over the last, I think it was last month maybe, when they did that. So yes, it's still important to have a positive earnings surprise, but debt is a factor that you need to watch out for. But I would say it's stabilizing based on the refinancing. JB, that's for you, man. That's for you. Pika, if you mean wrestler, then yes. I know, Mark. I don't take them seriously. Okay, good. Clay, did you do anything with No, Mitch, I did not do anything with it today. I was watching it. Today, I had some buys for Ford calls. Did not trigger any of those. And I put some buys out for AMC calls. I did get in some AMC calls today. But, Mullen, I did not do anything with that. Did you? Did you put a stop loss on there or anything? Or take your profit? Because I know it's down below where you got in at, right? Hopefully you made some money. If not, you're still holding. I still think it's a good long-term play. Cladinho, numero uno. I like it. It's a company the size of AMC will always have some debt. Yes, they absolutely will. These companies tend to use investors' money to expand and upgrade, so they're not cash poor. It's more about having a manageable debt versus income. Yeah, Deontay, and I still do believe that their debt is high. Right, $6 billion plus in debt, I do believe is very high, based on their income and based on their earnings, especially with earnings being negative. But I don't think that it's. I mean, it is still high, dude. I think it's stable at this point. It's probably the word that I do want to use for that. Let's see. Ukraine cut off main water supply to Crimea, which caused Russia to import water to millions of people. Dwight! See, I did not know that. AMC will hit $20 today. TD214. I hope so, man. I hope it opens up tomorrow at like $22, $23. That would be very exciting to me. Overall debt comes due in 2025. We need to squeeze. Mark, I agree with you, man. I agree. I'm going to take this earnings expectations off since Shiba fallen. Since we are about to have the earnings release here pretty soon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Mike Johnson, thank you very much for the member chat. Adam Aaron better not want to release more shares. Oh my gosh. I don't think he's going to want to, right? I think he knows that that's going to fail. So I don't think he's going to try. He's already sitting on $1.6 billion in cash, man. How much more cash do we want to give him? How much more cash do these people want to get? I know there's people out there. They would literally give Adam Aaron their paycheck because the way he tweets on Twitter, and then these people just flock to him. I guarantee there are people that would vote yes. They think he's just an angel, and I'm going to agree with Mike. No more shares. No more shares. They don't need more than $1.6 billion before we get our squeeze. I don't care what they do after the squeeze. I don't think they need any more. They're not facing bankruptcy right now. Nothing to get out of. I got some today around 90. Mon? 90 cents? Is that what you're saying? AMC got that America debt. Yeah, dude, they got that America debt going on. I'm going to take this vote off here. So if you guys want to vote, hurry up. Vote really quick because I'm taking it off now. All right. Boom. Gone. 85% voting yes. It's going to be good earnings for AMC. Congrats, Mike, on 7 months. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody who is a member in the chat, for real. Especially those who got 9 months. That's the highest I've seen so far. I think you'd want to, but it's not going to happen. I might have missed something, man. Yo, Clay. Oh, the shares. Pringleton saying. Yo, Clay, or anybody, do you know if Adam Aaron will be on TV like Fox Business, audio only? For the earnings call? Shredda, I do not know if he's going to be on Fox. As far as I know, it's going to be audio only, but I do not know for sure. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Dang it, man. Got in at 90. You got to be making some money then, because was it like 110? 103? Yeah, 105 right now. Did it go to 90 cents today? Nailed it. Dude, Devil's Advocate did good on that one, didn't he? Yowza. Devil's Advocate did very good on that one. 85 cents to $1.10. Nice trade on there. We've got... Yeah, man, VIX very volatile today. My goodness. What do we got? Anything running after hours right now? SoFi up 16% after hours. Very good. Spaniard making some money on SoFi calls. Nothing looks huge. Nothing looks huge right now. All right, let's see. Let's go back out to here. But good. We need another commercial. For 2 seconds, I thought you wanted me to put an ad on this live stream, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'll give you a commercial. But then I was like, oh, he's probably talking about another, oh, God, Nicole Kidman commercial with AMC. Yeah, we don't need another commercial. We don't need to give Adam Aaron another $25 million to run another commercial and give his girlfriend $25 million for the commercial. Nope. Not gonna happen. Exactly. Pringleton, we are not giving them any more shares, man. AMC needs to invest in their own films, hint Netflix. If they can make real good horror movies, we'd be banking the Exorcist quality horror movies. Horror movies scare me, man. Horror movies scare me. I'm not gonna lie about that. Let's see, where did I go? We'll find out about earnings. Big Kingsta. 4 minutes. Let me see if we're in here. I'm going to turn the audio off really quick just so I can listen to see what's going on. All right, they're still in elevator mode playing it. If you guys are listening, it should start in 3 minutes. If you guys want to say they're live or whatever, I'll pull it back up, but I can't risk them like giving me some sort of a strike because of they're playing some stupid on-call music. So if you guys got it playing in the background, let me know when they start, but otherwise we'll check again in 3 minutes here when the call should start. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Yo, pull up the Russian market and show everybody that red candle. Nicole, bro. Nicole. Do we... no, not that. Not that one. The Russian market's not even open right now, is it? Let's see where... I don't know where I can pull up a graph. Oh, maybe Bloomberg. No, dude, since when do you have to pay for... Dude, where is a graph? Why do they have a chart here? It's not that good. All right, either way. It's not that good. The index that I pulled up there, not that great. We're going to see if they're on the earnings call right now, though. They're still not talking yet, but clearly we've got some volatility going on preceding these earnings if they haven't come out. Let's see. Are they up? Nope, not up yet. Not talking. Anybody got the earnings that have been reported? Let's see if we can go find those really quick before the call starts. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Either way, it's going to be all right. Maybe. I don't want a song to start. That's a song. These dudes are late to their own meeting, man. These guys are late to their own meeting. Let's see. Rush Market is offline. Yes, I know it is. Yeah, they closed like yesterday and today, I think. Runch tweeted them. All right, so they are. George, thank you very much for the earnings. I am. Okay, you guys can hear me. Yes. Let's see. Negative 25 cents reported and negative 0.11 revenue expected and 1.1 billion reported, 1.17 billion. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Are they talking? How are they not talking yet, man? This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they're not out here. Being late is a pet peeve of mine. Yeah, especially when you're late to your own meeting, right? I'm wondering where they're at. No, not there. Not there. We can't play the music for more than 2 seconds. Otherwise, we're going to get yelled at. But let's see what we got. Let's see if we can go out to AMC's website and figure out their earnings report. Let's see. Quarterly results. Let's see what we got. Third quarter. No, first quarter. No, I want the fourth quarter. They're not even released on AMC's website yet. So okay, here we go. No, that just says that they're going to release them. Man, what volatility? Dude, they do realize what time it is, right? I mean, is John in the bathroom or something right now? Is John literally in the John? What's going on? Earnings releases. Nope, nothing on AMC's financial or investor relations page. Staring squeeze, coincidence with the call. Yeah, let's hope so.
AMC Entertainment's fourth quarter 2021
cool.
earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participants are in a listen-only mode and the conference is being recorded. After the presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. To join the question queue, you
is this audio good?
Star, then 1 on your telephone keypad.
Can you guys hear him? Can you guys hear him?
You may signal an operator by pressing star and 0. I would now like to turn the conference over to John Merriweather, Vice President, Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to AMC's fourth quarter year-end 2021 earnings webcast. With me this afternoon is Adam Aron, our Chairman and CEO, and Sean Goodman, our Chief Financial Officer. Before I turn the webcast over to Adam, let me remind everyone that some of the comments made by management during this webcast may contain forward-looking statements that are based on management's current expectations. Numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors may cause actual results to differ materially from those that might be expressed today. Many of these risks and uncertainties are discussed in our most recent public filings, including our most recently filed 10-K. Several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability of the company to control or predict. In light of the uncertainties inherent in any forward-looking statements, listeners are cautioned to not place undue reliance on these statements.
John's killing it, man.
The company undertakes no obligation to revise or update any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events. On the webcast, we may reference non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, free cash flow, operating cash burn, and operating cash generated, among others. For a full reconciliation of our non-GAAP measures to GAAP results, please see our earnings release posted in the Investor Relations section of our website earlier today. After our prepared remarks, there will be a Q&A session. This afternoon's webcast is being recorded, and a replay will be available in the Investor Relations section of our website at amctheaters.com later today. With that, I'll turn the call over to Adam.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. The fourth quarter of 2021 saw AMC putting up on the board significant milestones of progress, sending a crystal clear message to one and all that AMC is moving well along the path to recovery. For the first time in the 2 years since COVID-19 descended upon us all in early 2020, in the fourth quarter of 2021, AMC achieved positive EBITDA, and we generated positive operating cash flow. And this is not a situation where we only narrowly achieved these important markers. Our positive EBITDA in the quarter was almost $160 million, up a breathtaking $487 million over the fourth quarter of a year ago. This led to non-GAAP operating cash generated of more than $220 million in the just completed quarter. In addition, we ended the year with a record-setting year-end liquidity of approximately $1.8 billion, enough to provide AMC with more security in case the return to normal box office levels takes longer than some might expect. And importantly, it also gives us the flexibility to go on the offensive as we work to create the AMC of the future. 2021 was another year of sequential and continuous recovery and improvement. As was the case after COVID forced the closure of all of our theaters in March of 2020, the industry, and especially AMC box office grosses, improved each and every quarter of 2020 and each and every quarter of 2021 as theaters reopened, as the number of released film titles increased, as the overall film slate became more varied and appealing, and especially throughout 2021 as COVID vaccination counts soared. With the industry and AMC's box office growing each quarter, so too our financial results at AMC improved each quarter as well. As I look at the recently completed fourth quarter, I am especially pleased that we hosted roughly 60 million guests at our theaters in the U.S., Europe, and the Middle East. 60 million people enjoyed watching a movie at AMC in Q4. 60 million people. I am similarly pleased that our average total revenues per patron at AMC in the quarter were $19.63, some 25.5% higher than the same statistic in our pre-pandemic Q4 of 2019. It's our understanding that this is considerably higher than that of any other major theater operator. None of this is accidental. We worked our tails off to get people back in theaters, and our job is not yet done. We are not yet where we want or where we need to be. That will continue to take time, and it will continue to take sustained and imaginative effort on our part. But even so, you can see and you can taste and you can feel it, that AMC seems to be on a positive glide path to recovery. There is so much conventional wisdom floating around that movie theaters cannot coexist and cannot thrive in a world of streaming. What a load of cow dung. There, I cleaned that up nicely. What a load of cow dung. In a world where the consumer's appetite for content is so voracious that it seems to be sufficient to let us all prosper, it's our view at AMC that movie theaters, and especially our company as the leader in the movie theater industry, have a very bright future. The problem with conventional wisdom is that conventional wisdom is so often just utterly wrong. Remember the breathless reporting that AMC would file for bankruptcy in 2020. Wrong. Remember that otherwise highly respected experts were calling for the AMC share price to fall to $2, $1, or even a penny by February or March of 2022. Now, for all the lawyers listening in, I'm making no prognosis for the future. I'm looking only retrospectively. But those experts gravely underestimated AMC. And with the full benefit of hindsight, we can now happily say, because now it's a simple matter of fact. They were wrong. They were wrong. They were wrong. Reflect on the remarkable success of Sony's Spider-Man: No Way Home, currently the third highest grossing movie of all time. Think about that for a moment. The third highest grossing movie ever, and even though it was released at a time when people were battling Omicron fears, no less. But it wasn't just Spider-Man. Venom, Bond, Eternals, Ghostbusters, they were all part of the highest North American box office that we've seen in 2 full years, at more than $2.1 billion in the quarter, and that was more than 50% higher than the industry box office just 1 quarter earlier in Q3 of 2021. Looking to 2022, the 2022 film slate is expected to be significantly stronger than 2021's, with Warner's The Batman opening later this week, for which advanced bookings are very strong. The second quarter slate also includes Marvel's Doctor Strange, Universal's Jurassic World Dominion. Paramount and Tom Cruise are blessing us with the long-awaited Top Gun Maverick. And then there's Pixar's Lightyear. Later in the year, we have titles such as Minions, The Rise of Gru, Thor, Love and Thunder, and I fully expect Disney literally to dazzle us, both with Marvel's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and James Cameron's Avatar 2, the sequel to, in inflation-adjusted dollars, the single highest grossing movie of all time. Couple great films with much of the industry coalescing around an exclusive 45-day theatrical window in the United States. That is infinitely better for AMC than when the movie industry flirted with day and date simultaneous release of films to theaters and the home experimentation in 2021. As we look forward to the full calendar year of 2022, and reckoning that no one is a perfect crystal ball, but we think that the overall domestic industry box office, which is a good placeholder for the size of our industry, both here in the United States and abroad, could be nearly double that of 2021. And that makes us at AMC bullish about our continued progress. 2 notes of caution. Stating the obvious, inflationary cost pressures, labor shortages, and potential supply chain disruptions continue to exist. And if you watch the news, you are well aware, sadly, that there is a war in full bloom on the continent of Europe. These challenges all will need to be carefully managed. Additionally, a year ago, we spoke to you about a sequentially improving year in 2021, with each quarter expected to be better than the previous one, and that is exactly how 2021 turned out. Merely because of the timing of big movie releases in 2022, we expect that 2022 could follow a similar path, with the first quarter being the low point of the year and meaningful sequential improvement being achieved as the year progresses. In short, our expectations are for a Q1 that is well above 2021 Q1 levels, but nonetheless, it will be a relatively weaker Q1 coupled with a strong and reassuring full-year performance for all of 2022. As you look at AMC, know that we remain focused on recovery and transformation. We remain focused on innovation and managing through change. We are determined to continue with bold and dazzling marketing initiatives, all the while maintaining our disciplined cost controls as well as cash conservation and potentially cash-raising strategies. I'll be back in a few minutes to provide some updates on specific key advances for AMC and to take your questions. But right now, I'll turn the call over to our Chief Financial Officer, Shawn Goodman. Shawn?
Thanks, Adam, and thank you to everyone for joining us on the webcast this afternoon. The fourth quarter represented a very important landmark along our path of recovery. The 60 million guests that we welcomed to our theaters around the world during the fourth quarter resulted in consolidated revenue of $1.17 billion. That's up 53% from Q3 of 2021, and it's more than 7 times the $162.5 million of revenue we had in Q4 of 2020. This resulted in 2 very important accomplishments during the fourth quarter. First, we generated positive adjusted EBITDA for the first time in 2 long years of $159.2 million. This represents a $164.6 million improvement over Q3 2021's EBITDA loss of $5.4 million and a $486.7 million improvement over last year's fourth quarter EBITDA loss of $327.5 million. This positive EBITDA was achieved in both Europe at $61.3 million and the US at $97.9 million. And second, we achieved positive operating cash generated, a non-GAAP measure of $224.4 million. This represents average operating cash generated of approximately $75 million per month during the fourth quarter. And this compares to an average operating cash burn of approximately $75 million per month during the first half of 2021. The fourth quarter proved to be a very good illustration of the working capital dynamics of our business, where growth in the business is also accompanied by working capital benefits. Note that operating cash generated and operating cash burn, these are measures meant to represent total cash flow before debt servicing costs and before deferred rent payments. A GAAP reconciliation table is included in today's earnings release. The strong results in Q4 were driven by consolidated revenue per patron of $19.63. This is 25.5% higher than Q4 of 2019 and a resulting solid contribution dollars per patron of $13.44. This is 32% higher than Q4 of 2019. Note that I'm defining contribution dollars per patron as total revenue less film exhibition costs and food and beverage costs on a per patron basis. This tremendous growth in both revenue and contribution dollars per patron was across both our domestic and our international markets and reflects strength in average ticket prices, food and beverage spend, and other revenue per patron. The strength in average ticket price has been helped by a high utilization of our premium large format offerings, such as IMAX and Dolby Cinema. This reflects our guests increasingly wishing to experience going to the movies as a special immersive event, and thus they are more and more selecting to upgrade to the best possible sight and sound experiences available. The percentage attendance at premium formats was 17% in Q4 2021 compared to 12% in Q4 2019. In addition, relative to 2019, we benefited from a favorable showtime mix with a higher percentage of evening and weekend shows, coupled with pricing adjustments that we were able to take during the course of 2021. From a food and beverage perspective, throughout the year, we have enjoyed exceptionally strong food and beverage revenue per patron, as our guests chose to enjoy the full outside-the-home entertainment experience offered at AMC. Overall, our consolidated food and beverage spend per person in the fourth quarter was $6.37. This is 35% higher than the spend in Q4 of 2019. Our significant outperformance in this area compared to 2019 continues to be primarily driven by an increase in the proportion of guests choosing to enjoy our industry-leading food and beverage offerings made easy and convenient to purchase through our app that allows one to order food and beverage when purchasing tickets in advance of arriving at the theater. Our total other revenue in Q4 2021 decreased by only 6% compared to the same period in 2019. This despite a 36% decrease in the number of guests served. Other revenue primarily represents fees associated with online ticket purchases, screen advertising, and theater rental revenue. Online ticket revenue per patron benefited as an increasingly higher percentage of our guests chose to reserve their seats and order food and beverage in advance, utilizing our industry-leading website and app. Screen advertising revenue also continued to increase during the course of 2021 as the box office improved, and we also benefited from revenue diversification initiatives, such as renting our theaters during off-peak times to businesses and government organizations for meetings and other events. In our domestic markets, revenue per patron in the fourth quarter was $20.46, up 24.5% from Q4 of 2019. This was driven by a 35% increase in food and beverage spend per patron, coupled with a 17% increase in average ticket price and a 40% increase in other revenue per patron. In our international markets, revenue per patron for the fourth quarter was $17.90, up 28% from 2019. This was driven by a 32% increase in food and beverage spend per patron, coupled with a 20% increase in average ticket price and a 55% increase in other revenue per patron. In an ongoing effort to enhance efficiency, we have been extremely deliberate in adjusting payroll hours and flexing show times to adjust to the market demand. For example, our Q4 attendance of 60 million guests represents 65% of Q4 2019's attendance, but 87% of Q4 2019's attendance per showing. This increase in attendance per showing enhances our efficiency and allows us to effectively manage cost pressures. Moving over to the balance sheet. We ended the quarter with a record year-end liquidity of $1.8 billion. This is comprised of $1.592 billion of cash and cash equivalents and $209 million of undrawn credit facilities. During the fourth quarter of 2021, we repaid approximately $61 million of deferred rent, reducing our deferred rent balance down to $315 million. In total, we have been able to reduce our deferred rent balance by approximately $155 million during the last 9 months of 2021. We expect to further reduce the deferred rent balance during 2022 by approximately $150 to $200 million. Looking closer at the balance sheet, and particularly our debt position, it is worth noting that last month we completed a highly successful capital raising. We issued $950 million of 7.5% first lien notes. As a result of this transaction, we were able to fully repay high interest debt that was raised at the height of the pandemic. The end result is a reduction in our annual interest expense by approximately $30 million, an extension of our debt maturities by between 3 and 4 years, as the new debt has a maturity date of 2029, and enhanced financial flexibility. Overall, this was a really terrific transaction for AMC, and we continue to actively pursue attractive opportunities to further strengthen our balance sheet, lower our interest costs, and increase our operating and strategic flexibility. Regarding capital allocation, we continue to pursue a balanced and disciplined approach to capital allocation. Our priorities remain unchanged. 1, ensuring that we have sufficient liquidity. 2, strengthening our balance sheet by reducing our debt and associated interest costs and extending maturities. 3, investing in our business to enhance the guest experience. And 4, opportunistically pursuing value-enhancing initiatives, including those that lead to diversification of our business. During 2020 and 2021, we focused our capital expenditures almost entirely on maintenance of the existing fleet. Net CapEx, including landlord contributions, was $130.2 million in 2020, and it was $70.4 million in 2021. Both of these are significantly less than in 2019, when CapEx included spend associated with the enhancement of our fleet, predominantly through seating upgrades. For 2022, separate and apart from any M&A activity, we expect CapEx to be in the range of $150 to $200 million as we begin to invest in the growth, enhancement, and extension of our business. As part of our ongoing efforts to optimize our theater portfolio, during the quarter we opened or added 3 new theaters and closed 5. So this brings the total number of locations permanently closed during the last 2 years to 83, and the total number of new locations opened to 30, for a net reduction of 53 locations. Both actions, closures and openings, serve to increase our adjusted EBITDA. Collectively, the older, somewhat tired theaters that we closed were money losers, while the beautiful new theaters that we are bringing into our system are expected to be extremely strong performers, positively impacting our overall profitability. Going forward, we'll continue to actively manage our portfolio, adding new high-performing locations and eliminating lower performers, all with the goal of improving guest satisfaction through improvements to the inherent quality and appeal of our fleet of theaters, as well as optimizing our overall profitability. The operating improvements and efficiency optimization initiatives implemented over the last 2 years have allowed us to nicely capitalize on the box office growth in the fourth quarter. We're very pleased with the results for Q4, but we are in no way complacent. As we begin 2022, we are still in a recovery phase, and we will continue to focus on revenue growth, efficiency, and enhancement initiatives to build our business and ensure our success in a post-COVID environment. And with that, I will pass the call back over to Adam.
Thank you, Sean. Before we open up this webcast to your questions, I'd like to update you on recent actions we've taken to enhance our business and highlight some strategic initiatives that will better position our company as we hurl into what we believe is a much more promising future for AMC. A strong current of innovation runs deep throughout AMC's DNA. We have led in the elevating of moviegoing to a truly unique and desirable out-of-home experience, and we set the standard for so many transformative changes in our industry. We'll continue to do so, but in 2022, 2023, and beyond, we also expect to transform our company into becoming something much greater than solely a movie theater operator. Let's quickly look at 7 of the initiatives and innovations already or soon to be underway. 1. NFTs. During Q4, AMC became the first theatrical exhibition company to collaborate with a studio partner to offer an exclusive non-fungible token, or NFT, to reward moviegoers for their AMC attendance. AMC worked closely with our partners at Sony to launch the Spider-Man NFT, and the success was undeniable. 86,000 NFTs were fully subscribed within hours, and ultimately, these NFTs have been sold on secondary markets, some of them that is, but some of them have been sold on secondary markets for as much as $17,000. No, you did not hear me wrong. $17,000 for a single Spider-Man NFT. By now, in just a few months from our first effort with Sony in November, we have already launched 4 separate NFT programs, one of which is supporting what is sure to be the new blockbuster movie, The Batman, which opens this week. In total, more than 800,000 NFTs have already been made eligible by AMC for consumer collection in just three months or so. NFTs are not just interesting commemorative collectibles, but are also seen as drivers of attendance for AMC at our theaters and growth in box office revenues for our studio partners. We expect to continue, both jointly with studios and separately by ourselves on our own, to create future NFT offers to enhance the overall engagement with our guests. And importantly, in 22, we will look to further monetize some of what is now our nascent NFT activity. For example, selling some of these NFTs in addition to giving them away free, and getting a commission on the transfer of our NFTs when and if they're later resold. 2, cryptocurrency. We continue to explore opportunities to both provide convenience and to create value for our guests through the use of cryptocurrencies. Last year being 2021, we introduced the capability to accept payments in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin using our website and mobile app. Later this month, in March, we will introduce the ability to transact and to make AMC online payments in Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, that on our website with mobile app functionality following a few weeks thereafter. We continue to explore how else AMC can participate in the burgeoning crypto universe, and we remain quite intrigued by the potential business opportunity. We've been looking for some time at potentially issuing our own cryptocurrency, but that will depend on how the regulatory frameworks surrounding cryptocurrency unfold. More to come if, as, and when we have something more concrete to share. As a side note, a benefit of our having to program cryptocurrency functionality for our website and mobile app, AMC also picked up the capability to accept Apple Pay, Google Pay, and PayPal online. Incredibly, in just a few months, these latter 3 forms of payment, along with cryptocurrency, already constitute more than 15% of our online ticketing activity, as was seen in the fourth quarter of 2021. 3, variable pricing. A few years ago, at some of our U.S. theaters, AMC successfully raised weekend pricing above midweek levels. Currently, our prices for The Batman, which opens this week, are slightly higher than the prices we're charging for other movies playing in the same theaters at the same time. This is all quite novel in the United States, but actually AMC has been doing it for years in our European theaters. Indeed, in Europe, we charge a premium for the best seats in the house, as do just about all other sellers of tickets in other industries. Think sports events, concerts, and live theater, for example. That has not commonly been a practice heretofore in the United States. If you look at our year-over-year pricing success as was demonstrated in the Q4 numbers, you will see that AMC has been a bold thinker in the area of pricing, one who is willing to take risk, and one who is willing to lead, and one who sees considerable upside opportunity for us ahead if we continue to be imaginative. 4, AMC Perfectly Popcorn. Our foray into the multi-billion-dollar popcorn industry during 2022 is on track. Remember, AMC knows something about popcorn. On a peak day, we sell 50 tons of the stuff. We plan to make our freshly popped popcorn available through food delivery to home services, allowing consumers to enjoy a slice of the AMC experience while entertaining at home. We also plan to sell to-go packages of popcorn at our theaters for takeout and/or for pickup. Beginning later this year, we will begin selling freshly made real AMC Theaters Perfectly Popcorn and other movie treats at select mall retail locations around the United States. And I think the biggest opportunity here of all is that AMC is working actively on opportunity to offer prepackaged and/or ready-to-pop microwavable AMC Theaters Perfectly Popcorn in supermarkets, in convenience stores, and in other food service venues around the country. As we recently announced, we recruited Ellen Kopakin to fill the newly created position of Vice President of Growth Strategy, where she will lead our initiatives related to the sale of popcorn outside the traditional in-theater channel and assist with other initiatives to broaden and transform our company. Ellen has an outstanding track record in brand management and innovation at PepsiCo, at Frito-Lay, and at Hostess Brands. And her skill set, combined with her significant grocery experience, will be a tremendous asset to us as we roll out our popcorn initiatives and explore other innovations in 22. Watch out, Orville Redenbacher, baby. A considerable competitor with a popcorn brand that truly resonates with consumers is on its way. 5, additional theater additions. That should have been additional theater locations. During 2021 and early in 2022, we acquired 7 high-profile and strategic theaters, including 6 former ArcLight Pacific theaters. That's about a third of their circuit, located in major metropolitan markets like Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. Adding the magic of the AMC product and marketing strategies to existing high-profile theater locations has proven to be a winning formula. Our mid-2021 acquisitions of the Grove 14 and Americana at Brand 18, both former ArcLight Pacific theaters, both in the Los Angeles market, have, under AMC's leadership and management, both ranked among the 30 highest grossing movie theaters in the entire United States out of some 5,000 theaters in the country since joining the AMC family in midsummer. Theater landlords, real estate owners around the country recognize that AMC is a theater operator of choice, and we continue to be in active and constant discussions regarding potentially picking up additional highly attractive locations that can enhance our portfolio. Transition costs can be modest and often subsidized by landlords. Not always, but sometimes we find opportunity to pick up theaters at a mere 1 to 2 times projected EBITDA, even counting in and factoring in their transition costs. Similarly, we have looked at buying some or all of several smaller movie theater circuits. Now, some sellers have price expectations that make their approach to us dead on arrival. On the other hand, we are seeing other opportunities where we think we can grow our theater count attractively with quality theaters in strong potential markets and do so at 3 to 4 times our projected cash flows. These are bargain prices. We will continue to be highly disciplined in our approach, though, but put it all together, there is opportunity in them Nar Hills. Watch this space for more announcements as AMC continues to grow. Next, a branded credit card. Some of you may have seen two completely voluntary and well-earned executive retirements announced yesterday afternoon, and that we are seamlessly backfilling these two very talented executives with superb individuals to carry our legacy forward. We'll have new leadership, highly experienced, already internal within the company, to run our U.S. theater operations. In addition, in choosing our new CMO, Elliot Hamlish of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, Starwood Hotels and Resorts, Deloitte Consulting, and American Express, not to mention an MBA from the Harvard Business School, we have someone bringing to his new AMC position considerable experience with co-branded credit cards. With approximately 4 million shareholders and 25 million households in our AMC Stubs program, I think there is significant potential profitability for AMC if we launch our own co-branded credit card, and that will become yet another high priority for AMC in 2022. You may recall that back in the early 1990s, I was the chief marketing officer of United Airlines and managed its co-branded credit card with what is now Chase. I've seen firsthand the spectacular profitability that can accrue to a company that has a successful co-branded credit card launch. And finally, recovery, agility, and transformation. These three words are the mantra for AMC in 2022 and 2023. As our fourth quarter results indicate, we continue to be in a state of recovery, and our focus remains on bringing to fruition a successful, full, and lasting recovery from the impact of the pandemic. At the same time, we realize that we will need to be agile to achieve that goal because, admittedly, our industry is in a time of robust change. But agility is something that we've demonstrated AMC is pretty good at. Let's just say that at AMC, we have steered this ship through the most uncharted of uncharted waters in the recent years, so we're not worried about the need for us to adapt our business model as we go forward to cope well as change unfolds around us. But some people following us look too narrowly. They think our aim is merely to bring back the company that existed back in 2019 pre-pandemic. And they look at the value of that company and project a fall in grace for us at AMC going forward. But I want to make very clear to everybody on this call, our ambition is much more grand than that. Our shareholders have armed us with $1.8 billion of year-ending liquidity, and there may be creative ways for us to raise even more monies. I keep on getting offers from our shareholders, for example, that they want to chip in and help us pay down our debt. I don't know exactly that that's in the cards, but I do admire their passion and dedication to AMC nonetheless. They've shown it over and over and over again. Still, with $1.8 billion of cash and undrawn revolver at our disposal, that can be used to outlast this pandemic, to pay down debt, to innovate within our core and related businesses, and for transformative M&A. We encourage those of you who look at AMC to do so boldly, because within AMC, we are thinking boldly. Before turning the call over to Q&A, I would like to make a few specific observations about our enthusiastic and avid shareholder base. They really care about AMC, and they're not shy with their advice. Believe it or not, I tend to read a few thousand of their short comments on Twitter each week, and the feedback that we are getting has greatly helped me to run this company. It's greatly helped me to run their company. I'm also pleased that more than 615,000 individuals have self-identified as AMC shareholders in joining AMC Investor Connect, a program that we launched in the last days of June of 2021. It's our special communication and rewards program designed especially and only for our shareholders. Also in the fourth quarter of 2021, I personally hosted 2 sold-out early movie screenings for our shareholders in New York and Los Angeles. More such screenings that I personally host and personally attend will be planned around the country throughout 2022. At the LA screening back in December, one of our investors screamed from the audience, "We're not leaving," he said. And indeed, he appears to be right. Right now, there are several data sources to reconcile, but as best we can tell, we have about the same number of individual shareholders now as we had a year ago at this time, in the neighborhood of 4 million individual investors who care about AMC's future. If you exclude index funds, who have no choice but to own and hold AMC shares, individual retail investors would seem to own more than 90% of our officially issued 516 million shares as of today. Indeed, as it is often said about AMC on Twitter, retail owns the float. Our shareholders ask me every day on Twitter, speaking of Twitter, to speculate about their theories on the trading of AMC stock, as well as on natural or unnatural pressures on it. Exactly as we said last July, we have no reliable information on naked shorting or so-called fake shares or so-called synthetic shares. So, even as we are well aware of your thoughts, legally, we simply are unable to make any further public commentary on these topics. One thing that I'm particularly proud of, we kept our word to our shareholders in 2021. It is widely known that we are essentially out of more common shares that could be issued to the public in any quantity. Although a decade ago, our board did authorize the potential issuance of preferred shares if we so chose. Some of you were anxious about this whole topic. And so I gave you my word back in the early summer of 2021 that we would sit on the sidelines for the balance of the full year 2021 on the equity issuance, and that is exactly what we did. We kept our word. Some of you then speculated that we would rush to immediately issue new shares to the public early in January as the new year started. It is already March. Again, we have not done so. Retaining your support, leading your company smartly and well, keeping our word to you. These are extremely important to us. They're extremely important to me at AMC. That's the report. The fourth quarter was a spectacular one for AMC, the strongest in 2 years. Sean, let's now turn to questions. Starting with questions from our shareholders, I do hope we'll take some securities analyst questions as well.
Thank you, Adam. And the first question is, can you give us an update on the popcorn initiative?
Sure. As I said in my prepared remarks, we sold 50 tons of it on a good day. We know something about popcorn. Our brand has credibility and will have credibility in the market for people who buy and consume popcorn. So we're taking this initiative very seriously. I talked about hiring Ellen Kopakin, who's got substantial brand management and innovation experience at PepsiCo, at Frito-Lay, and at Hostess Brands. She's got a lot of grocery experience. She's already on board. She joined us in mid-February. She's in charge of this whole effort, among other projects, and we are going full bore. I expect that hopefully with Uber Eats, we will launch a food delivery program in the beginning as early as the second quarter of this year, depending upon which city you happen to be in. We'll roll it out around the country over the second and third quarters primarily, possibly the fourth quarter in some of our smaller markets. As for grocery, many of you may not know this, but grocery stores tend to restock their shelves twice a year, in February and in September. Obviously, February is behind us, so our goal is to catch the September reshelving efforts and to get AMC Theaters Perfectly Popcorn in a supermarket or convenience store near you in the fall of 2022.
Thanks, Adam. And the next question is, are there other food and beverage initiatives in the pipeline? For example, expanded offerings, concessions to go, etc.
Absolutely. We fancied ourselves as an innovator in F&B, and of the large theater operators, AMC has had the highest food and beverage sales per patron for years now. That continues to be the case, and part of it comes from doing it well in our theaters, part of it comes from our innovation. Just a couple of weeks ago, we launched Impossible Nuggets, the plant-based alternative to chicken nuggets, which are selling briskly. We constantly are putting new menu items in our theaters. We constantly are putting specialty movie-themed drinks at our more than 350 bars around our U.S. theaters, themed to major movies that are coming out. But beyond that, some of you may recall that about 4 years ago, we launched something called Feature Fare, and we were way ahead of the competition, in our view, as to the menu variety that AMC offered in Feature Fare. Because of COVID, we had to strip that way back. It was a challenge just to open our theaters, let alone to do it with a full-blown variety of menu items as we had when everything was going like a Swiss watch back in 2018 or so. Having said that, we're building back up in terms of menu variety and our concession stands and in our dine-in theaters. We're still challenged with labor shortages and supply chain disruptions. So we're picking and choosing very carefully what items we bring back into our theaters. We want to make sure that if we promise a guest a high-quality F&B experience, that the people who are working in our theaters can deliver it. Having said that, we certainly seem to be succeeding. Sean, as you said in your prepared remarks, our food and beverage sales per patron are up 35% year over year. That's a stunning increase. I'm very proud of what our F&B organization is pulling off. You last asked about to-go questions. When we introduce the popcorn to-go products at our theaters, we'll also have other to-go items, including other delivery to home through Uber Eats and the like as well. So it's all coming. More big projects and more big goals for 2022.
Great, thank you very much. The next question is, can you give us an update on alternative content?
Alternative content is something that we are very intrigued by. We've dabbled in it so far to gauge consumer response. Some of the people who track us closely know that we had WWE events, we had UFC events. We showed DirecTV Sunday Ticket for 2 years of the last 3, showing professional football games, out-of-market football games on Sundays. We've had several concerts. One as recently as 2 nights ago, Kanye West, now Ye, in IMAX theaters around the country. We're showing some old movies. We just had a very successful re-showing of the 50th anniversary of The Godfather. I think that was in our Dolby Cinemas. And we've just agreed with Warner Music to look really hard together at which of their concert artists we can bring to AMC theaters. But the big kahuna here is sports rights. And we all know that if AMC is going to make a real splash in alternative content, if we can secure the rights for major professional and collegiate sporting events, not to mention these others like WWE and UFC, that getting professional and collegiate sports is something that has great potential. It's much easier said than done. We have begun dialogue with leagues. There's a lot to work out. but it's something that we're looking at hard.
Next question. What is the time frame to bring premium formats to the recent theater acquisitions?
I'm so proud of the partnership that AMC has with IMAX and that it has with Dolby Cinema. We're IMAX's, I think, largest customer in the world outside of China. We're certainly their largest partner here in the United States. We have an exclusive relationship with Dolby Cinema here in the United States. We had 150 or so PLFs 5 years ago. AMC globally now has over 400. And we continue to want to grow it. We're in active dialogue with both IMAX and Dolby right now, how we can grow our business with each of those great companies. I have every expectation that we are going to increase the number of our PLFs, and in the case of IMAX in particular, increase the number of laser-equipped IMAX auditoriums around the AMC system. One of the things that we've done as we've looked at bringing new theaters into our system is see if we can add PLFs to those theaters. And for example, the Grove and Americana brand in LA, which already are in the 30 highest grossing movie theaters in the United States, neither one has either an IMAX or a Dolby Cinema auditorium. We're going to put an IMAX and a Dolby Cinema and our house brand, which is called Private AMC. We're going to put 3 of them into the Grove, 3 of them into Americana brand. We're looking at other theaters as well to see where we can add IMAX or Dolby locations. In terms of timing, once you get permitted, it's kind of 6 to 12 months to get them constructed. Permitting can go fast or slow, depending upon the locality. So if I had to pick a date, I would say about a year after we add a theater to our network, we ought to be well underway with IMAX or Dolby or Private AMC locations.
Great. The next question is, what are the plans to monetize the opportunity from NFTs and cryptocurrency?
Look, this is a big opportunity for us. As I said in my prepared remarks about NFTs, we've already done 4 programs since November. Already 800,000 NFTs have been made available to consumers. One with the Spider-Man movie, one with Dune, one with the Batman movie. We offered an I Own AMC NFT to our shareholders enrolled in AMC Investor Connect. This is all good for us. We've tended to give them away free so far. We will continue to give some away free, especially if that drives a closer bond with the company or if it drives attendance to our theaters, where we'll make money selling tickets and concessions. But I also think it's possible for good and important and special NFTs to sell them to the public. And I also know for a fact that on some of these NFT programs, we already are and will be on future programs collecting a commission on the resale of those NFTs as they get resold. As for cryptocurrency, we're taking it now. We start with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu in a couple of weeks. We know there are a lot of consumers who are very keen on those cryptocurrencies. We expect that our market share amongst that audience will grow when we can take cryptocurrencies. In addition to that, the one that you know well, Sean, because we've talked about it at great length, the one that has our biggest intrigue is whether AMC would be capable of issuing our own coin, our own cryptocurrency. We have to be careful how we do that. The regulatory framework surrounding cryptocurrency is going to change dramatically, I think, during this calendar year. We always believe in staying on the right side of the law. And so we want to make sure that whatever we do in this area, we fully comply with whatever regulations governments send our way. But it is something we're looking hard at, and there may be an opportunity to create some significant value for us.
Great. The next question here is regarding our strategy for lowering debt and improving our leverage ratios.
Well, the best thing we can do to lower debt is to grow our EBITDA, so that by definition, the debt that we do have is a lower multiple of our rising EBITDA, and that certainly was the case in the fourth quarter, where we actually had positive EBITDA for the first time in 2 years. But that's not enough. We also need to pay down debt, and we're doing that right now. We made a great start by paying off a considerable amount of deferred rent that we owe from 2020. And additionally, there still is debt out there that we could buy at a discount, and that is an intriguing use of cash that we are considering.
Great. Next question. What are the plans with respect to signature recliners? Do you plan to introduce these at all screens?
We do not. Let's start with the branding of AMC. We have 3 major brands at AMC: AMC Theaters, AMC Dine-In Theaters, and AMC Classic Theaters. Our dine-in theaters are what they are, with full-blown restaurant menu items, mostly delivered to seat. We have our normal mainline AMC theaters, and we have the Classic brand. The Classic brand tend to be smaller, less visited theaters. The economics at a Classic theater probably would not allow us to invest in putting in recliners. It's an expensive proposition. We can spend as much as $5 million or more a theater in doing it, and the traffic at the Classic theaters just doesn't justify a return. But with respect to our AMC theaters, we've already made great progress. We've got recliner seats in 1 or more auditoriums at somewhere around 2/3 or more of our AMC theaters. We're very well populated with recliners. And one other thing that the pandemic threw at us is to guard our cash very carefully. And given that we already are well established with recliners, and given that it's really important to keep CapEx low and to hold on to that $1.8 billion war chest to do with it, as we described on the call earlier, I think we're going to slow down the pace of our renovations. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll do none. We will do some, but at significantly lower levels than we were doing it back in 2017 and 2018. We've got to be very prudent. The best asset this company has is this $1.8 billion cash and liquidity hoard. We need to be reverent that our shareholders have entrusted us with $1.8 billion. We need to be very careful how we deploy it.
Thank you. And the next question here is, can you give us an update on the opportunity to introduce AMC merchandise?
Sure. Merchandise is one of these other ideas that came pouring in from our retail shareholder base in 2021. Sounds like they want to buy it. And if they want to buy it, we want to sell it to them. So we started to experiment back in November when Ghostbusters Afterlife emerged. We created a special merchandise item, a Ghostbuster ambulance. It was like $40 or something. I think we sold 40,000 of them in like days. We sold out, which reminded us that our shareholder base and our customers are really interested in merch. We just this week are going forward with a big The Batman popcorn holder. It's about a 6-inch high Batman's head in which your popcorn will be served. I'm hoping they'll sell out. And merchandise is going to be a big project for us in 2022. I would expect that towards the middle of this year, we'll have a broad array of merchandise, AMC branded merchandise, that our shareholders and our guests can buy, whether they do it online or possibly at many of our theaters.
Great. And then the last question that I have here is, what are your goals with respect to more theater or other acquisitions?
Well, look, as I said in my prepared remarks, especially the section I called Recovery, Agility, and Transformation, we have cash. there are theaters that I believe we can acquire very inexpensively. 1 to 2 times cash flow is really cheap. Even 3 to 4 times projected cash flow is really cheap. And if we can grow by bringing in high-quality theaters in strong markets into our fleet inexpensively, that's a great opportunity for us. Beyond that, though, there is no specific company that we are yet ready to acquire. But I really want to say again and again and again that people who are watching and analyzing this company should think hard about what a strong management team can do with $1.8 billion of cash. And we are going to be looking seriously at M&A candidates. It's intriguing to diversify our business away from the pure movie theater industry, to diversify our risk, and yet capitalize on our knowledge of things like food and beverage, entertainment, selling tickets to things, running buildings that are far apart from each other, dealing with landlords with hundreds and hundreds of leases. This is all expertise that does not that AMC has, where that expertise is needed in other industries too. And again, I think for the people who are merely valuing the AMC of 2019 and suggesting that that's all we can do going forward, you're making a mistake. There are other lines of business, whether it's NFTs, cryptocurrency, popcorn, or that which we grow into through transformational M&A. There's opportunity to change this company's fortunes greatly as we look ahead.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, Sharice, if you want to see if there's, if you could repeat the Q&A.
Absolutely.
Instructions.
We will now begin the question and answer session. To join the question queue, you may press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. You will hear a tone acknowledging your request. If you are using a speakerphone, please pick up your handset before pressing any keys. To withdraw your question, please press star, then 2. The first question comes from Jim Goss with Barrington Research. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Jim. Nice to hear your voice again.
Yes. Do have a question, a couple of questions. One, I was wondering if you think there's any opportunity to maybe carve out some subset of your theaters, perhaps the AMC Classic or some of them, and create a sale that could create some value that you could use for additional acquisitions or to pay down some debt.
Does the opportunity exist? Yes. Is it our plan to do that? No. I think that we benefit mightily from our size and scale. And we give up some of that. If we give up some of that size and scale, we hurt the rest of the company in the process. You all know that there are other companies who report their financials publicly. Take a look at our film rent costs in Q4. Compare that to some other companies. That's a direct result of the relationships that we have in Hollywood, but also a result of the size and scale of AMC. And we would be giving up on a competitive advantage that we now have if we got smaller.
Okay, and maybe also on the idea of trying to reduce the debt load. Do you have any thoughts on any creative financial instruments beyond the common equity that's dominated by the retail investors that could improve your financial position and interest costs, and also re-engage institutional investors in AMC?
So we do, and we're not yet ready to share them publicly. Having said that, I would remind you that my new CFO who's sitting, you're not so new anymore, you've been here 2 years, but who's sitting a couple of feet away from me, 6 feet away properly, but we've been very successful in the capital markets, and we just had this impressive, I think, refinancing of $950 million of our debt. We lowered our interest cost by 300 basis points. We stretched out maturities to 2029. And there are other tranches of our debt that we're looking at very hard to see if we can do something imaginative and creative with them, just as we did with our first liens a few weeks ago. Beyond that, there are other things that we can do, but as I said, and we're looking at them carefully, but as I said, we're not yet ready to share anything publicly. But you're on to something that it would be nice to have institutional investors embrace AMC, but I want to be very clear. I don't want to do that if it costs us our individual shareholder base. This new individual shareholder base has been very loyal to AMC since it showed up on our door about a year ago, and we intend to be very loyal to it in return.
You've been very clear about that. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Once again, if you have a question, please press star, then 1. As there are no further questions from the phone lines, I would now like to turn the conference back over to Adam for any closing remarks.
Thank you, operator. For all of you on the call today, thank you for joining us. The fourth quarter of 2021 was so encouraging for us. AMC is on a glide path to recovery with bold, exciting plans for 2022 in an improving environment around us. With that, don't hold our feet to the fire too much for Q1, but boy, are you going to like Q2 through Q3 and Q4. We're expecting 22 is going to be a very good year for our company. Thank you, one and all. We appreciate you joining us today.
This concludes today's conference call. You may disconnect your lines. Thank you for participating and have a pleasant day.
All right, guys, I don't know who's still in here. I do want to say thank you to everybody that is in here that was listening. And yes, I'm still recording. I got one more video left to record, and then we're going to be good to go. So thank you guys very much. If you're still in here, Cassie, Pika, Diddy214, Wrestler, Missy, Frank, Pika Power, Wrestler, Paul, Pika, I'm good, thanks. KO Bet still in here. Ryan Olson, thank you guys very much. Appreciate everybody that was in the chat today listening. KO Bet, Bad Timing, Clippery on the Flow, Clipper's channel. This chat is the channel. It is, man, yes. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. I did hear that the audio stopped, so I came back up to stop this before I get the Shiba Inu video recorded, so I'm going to go do that right now, and I do want to say thank you once again. So, if you want to say it with me, say it with me. Until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.